Hi Floss Tube! If we haven't met yet, my name is Daleen and this is my channel where I talk about cross stitch and a little bit of quilting and sewing and crochet and my grandbabies and what I'm grateful for and food. Always food. Thanks for stopping by. Today is February 13th. It's a Thursday and this is my 7th time trying to start this video. I chatted for 7 minutes and 22 seconds and I forgot to push that record button. Oops. Oh well, okay. That was my practice, so hopefully this will be way better this time. Okay. Let's talk about the food first. Everybody wants to know about the food. Okay, I've got coffee going. Okay, so here's what we have today. Creme Brulee. A little bit of sugar over top of the whole thing. I'll sprinkle it on there. And then I get to get my butane torch and I torch the whole thing. I know I want to use this, but I think that it would be a really bad idea. In a sewing room full of patterns and fabric, I just feel like flames, and that might not be a good idea. But if you come over, I made extra, so we can go in the kitchen, and I'll put my apron on, and I'll tie my hair back, and then I can turn this on and torch all the sugar until it's caramelized and that toasty, beautiful brown color, and it's a little bit crisp. So when you take your spoon and you tap it, you can hear it, and then you break through that crust and get to that creamy creme brulee. Oh my gosh, you're gonna love it. Oh, did I mention that it's dairy free and all of the bad things aren't in there? And yeah, it's the best. It's the perfect Valentine dessert. Once I get all of the sugar caramelized on the top, then I'm going to sprinkle some fresh raspberries on top. Ooh la la, it's going to be perfect. Perfect. I did make extra, so come on over. Come on over. You're going to really love it. Oh, and maybe I'll let you use this. You're going to love this thing. It's like so powerful. You just turn it on and you can adjust the flame, and it's like so cool to do. All right, we're here to talk about sewing, not flames and torching things. So let's talk about that quilt behind me. Oh, here we go. I love that quilt. I love that quilt. Machine pieced and machine quilted. I don't know the name. I don't know who made it. It's a mystery. February 26, 2013. A brown box arrived at my house, and it in the return address, all it said was Boise, Idaho. And I opened up the box and peeked inside. Hoped it wasn't anything silly or goofy. I don't know what it was. And there was a wrapped package with bright orange wrapping paper with white polka dots all over it, and a fat, lush grow green, lime green ribbon tied on the top of it. And there was a note. I wrote down the note so I could read it to you exactly. Wrap it all around you and know there is enough love to sustain you. So right in the middle of a really yucky time in my life, the worst, I was at the bottom of the barrel, and somebody, they never signed their name. They never told me who it was. I wrote about it on my blog. I asked everybody I knew, family, friends, neighbors. I asked everyone. It's the only present I've ever received that I never wrote a proper thank you. I use this thing all the time. I took it to every single appointment. I wrapped myself in the car, around my legs, around my shoulders. I've stitched under it. I've slept under it. I've sat and watched a movie under it. I've cried into it. But it's the best. It's the best. It's such goodness. I don't know if I'm as good a person as that I would make a beautiful quilt, all that work, and then give it to someone and never ever tell them who made it. Oh man. Kindness matters. There you go. That tells you all about it. Kindness changes the world. I'm still talking about it 7 years later, how big of an impact that made on my life, and still does. So ooh, I just love it. I love it. I'm glad I got to share it with you today. So, okay, let's get into some housekeeping. First of all, the giveaway that I did last video, I had 4 patterns that I gave away from Ravaris. Thanks again, Olivia, for sharing that with us. I really appreciate it. And one of the people never contacted me. Her name was Carol Lynn 121. She also watches Stacy, the 911 Stitcher. So if anybody knows who Carolyn is on either of our channels, could you please tap her on the shoulder and tell her to send me her physical address, and I promise to mail out her pattern. And I'll wait till the next video that I do, and if she doesn't contact me, then I promise that I'll redraw. So thanks again, Carol. Let me know. Thanks. Let's see. Oh, you want to know about my vacation? Okay, let me just tell you a little bit. It was really fun. We had a great time. Okay, first of all, it was Nashville. There was music everywhere. It was so fun. Even when I was swimming, they had country music piped into the whole spa area, the whole area where the swimming pool was. Our hotel was connected to the Country Music Hall of Fame, so we got to go there. That was really fun. But okay, so the swimming. Let's talk about swimming. Nobody else was there. It was an outdoor pool. It was heated. I was in my element. I loved it. So when Mr. Wright was at business, I was swimming. So I came up with this idea that I would have a biscuit bar at our hotel. God bless them. A biscuit bar. I'm telling you, there were stacks of, okay, always buttermilk biscuits, always. And then there was carrot cake biscuits and bacon and cheddar biscuits, and they were stacked on all these plates and had lights like in a jewelry store. They were like glowing down on all these biscuits, and big pots of jelly and honey and jams and butter. There's like this big, huge, beautiful bowl of butter. Okay, the biscuits were really, really thick. So I decided while swimming that for every lap up and back that I did, I would earn a little bit of a biscuit. So I decided 4 laps would equal 1 biscuit. So one morning I did 12 laps, and I thought, oh God, 3 biscuits. And I thought, ooh, I better do an extra one for the jelly and the jam. Okay, so every day I swam 13 laps up and back, sometimes 14, and I enjoyed, I can't even remember how many biscuits. They're like buttery and good and flaky, and God bless the person that decided to invent the biscuit bar. So anyway, if you ever go to Nashville and you need a nice idea of a hotel, the Omni is fabulous, and they have a fabulous biscuit bar. I'm telling you, it was wonderful. But anyway, we had a great time in Nashville. It was super fun, and lots of great food and great music. My husband got to go to a hockey game and see his Maple Leafs, and they won. Thank goodness, thank goodness. I was so happy. I was so happy that his team won, because I knew he wouldn't be so happy. He wore his jersey. He was thrilled. He never packs until the morning of, and I couldn't believe he came out of the hotel bathroom with his jersey on. I was like, really? You remembered to pack that? Anyway, priorities. So then we got to go on down to Mobile, Alabama to see those grandgirlies. And I was the perfect grandma when I was hugging them. My arms were all wide, and I was like, you girls are even prettier than the last time I saw you. And you're so tall. Isn't that what the best grandmas say? How'd you get so tall? Oh, they were the greatest girls. We got to spend a whole day with them. Just the grandparents and just the girls. The parents went off to work. And we got to have a day. And I asked the littlest one, what did you tell your teacher that you weren't going to be in school all day long? And she said, oh, I told her that our grandparents were coming and they were going to give us a day of spoiling, so we couldn't go to school. Apparently the teacher giggled, so that's a good thing. So we got to go swimming, and we went to a bookstore, and they got to buy any book they wanted. They each got 3 books, I think. It was so fun. And we got to go shoe shopping, and they got to buy shoes, and they chose to go to the dollar store, and they bought all these glow sticks and glow balls, and they loved it. And then they got to pick lunch. So they picked some place. I think it's called Cane's. And so we go there, and really the only thing they sell is chicken fingers and French fries. So that's what we did. Grandma, Grandpa, the girls, we all had chicken fingers and French fries. And the oldest girl said to me, Grandma, you do know that's real chicken, don't you? And you don't eat real chicken. I said, oh, sometimes you just want to fit in. We're just, Papa Bruce and I are just ordering what you girls are ordering. We want to fit in. And she was just smiling and so happy that we were all eating chicken fingers and French fries. Anyway, we got to go to Starbucks, and they got to buy their drinks, their fancy drinks. And I said, I don't want to be the grandma that says no, but could we please not have caffeine? And they were okay with that. They were fine with that. But we got to go back swimming again, and then they chose to watch a movie, and then we went to go meet the parents for dinner, and it was karaoke night, and our son sang wonderful. It's still stuck in my head. He's a great singer. And then I heard a little girl singing, and I looked up. It was Miss Adelaide, and a little 8-year-old girl singing her heart out in this restaurant. It was fun. It was so great, and as most fun as we had and as happy as we had to do all kinds of fun things and go to a museum and go to the beach, and it was just as hard to say goodbye. So, mwah, I love you girls. We'll see you again soon. Oh my gosh, they're just the best. They're so smart and kind and well behaved and good manners, and we told their parents how good a job they're doing, and you know, it was so fun, so fun. And then Mr. Wright and I drove on to New Orleans, and we ate for a couple days, and we got to go to the tour of Cemetery Number 1, St. Louis Cemetery Number 1. It was so good. Our tour guide she has a degree in anthropology and history, and I learned so much. It was so fascinating, and that's just a crazy town to eat your way through and be happy, and then we came on home. Okay, there you go. Okay, now I'll tell you, maybe I'll try to, yeah, there you go. You could fast forward through it if you didn't want to hear about my vacation. All right, let's talk about stitching. Oh man, we're 11 minutes in. We haven't said a word about stitching. Okay, I have a couple previous finishes, and all 3 are freebies. Okay, this one is just a little pin pillow that I made. Oh, there's a little charm on the back. I made it last year. I never did sew the buttons across. Like I just pinned this pin on it, and it just stayed that way. It was a freebie on Pinterest. I used a little scrap of fabric that I had left over, and then little teeny beads are on the edge. That's how I finished it. So it's just a cute little one that I tuck into a bowl by the front door. And then this one was Kathy Haberman's pattern that she gave away last year for free. It says "Love is kind," and you make it into a little heart and little fabric little flowers you cut out, and then you sew some buttons, and then I did a little embroidery work across it, and I tied a little bow at the top with some jute. That's a cute one. And then this one is from the Primitive Hair, and it's a freebie. And I stitched our anniversary date on it. And last year when I was showing this, I was looking into the camera and I noticed the word love. The E was dropped down, and it was already framed, already finished, already has a hook on the back. And I thought, did I goof that up? I sure as heck did. So anyway, I made it my own. So there you go. It's a free pattern by the Primitive Hair. It doesn't take you very long to finish. And it's a really nice one. You can make it into a pillow. You can frame it. I think I got this frame on the clearance rack, and it just kind of fit perfectly. It made me happy. So just a couple of Valentine finishes. Okay, I have some works in progress. So when I was on the airplane, I used my stitching light that I showed you last time, and it worked beautifully, beautifully. Oh, so did that that thing that I got from the knitters thing that you hold your pattern with the magnets. That worked perfectly on that tray. You drop that tray down, set it there. My pattern was right there. Ooh. Okay, so I worked on, this is called Little Shamrocks by Pineberry Lane. And I got their dresses all filled in. This is the one that I just outlined the little pot for the shamrocks and their dresses, and then I just did the fill-in work when I was on the airplane. There was a teensy bit of turbulence, so I had to stop a little bit. I worked on that Daffodils Friends, by the Snowflower Diaries, and I'll show you that one in just a second. But the pilot was excellent. Best landing I'd ever had. She was a fabulous pilot. I love that. I love that. Okay. I had a surprise in the mail a couple days after I came home, and a fellow floss tube maker sent me this pattern. It's by Lottie Daw, and it's called Peace on Earth. I don't know if you can you see the alphabet that's on there? And It's just so beautiful. Anyway, she sent it to me and said, "Hey, maybe you could stitch this and pass it on." So I'd never thought about doing that pattern, and yet here I am. And I love it. I love that bird. Oh, I tucked this in. So the fabric that I'm using is Lugana 28 Feldspar. And it's this blue with a little bit of beige and the kind of mixed in there. Let me see if I can do a better job. There you go. And it just blends beautifully with these threads. They're all DMC. I love that bird. I love the colors on that bird. Okay, so the little initials there say CW. That would be my 5-year-old grandson named Cooper. I slipped his initials in there. I thought maybe someday he'd like this one. So I just have a little bit of the border to go on the top, some words, and one more time around, and then I'm sending it on to the next stitcher. I thought it'd be fun to write our names on a 3x5 card and just tuck it in there and just, what better way? Peace on earth. Pass it around, man. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. I'm not usually a blue person, but I tell you, this fabric seems like it was made for this pattern. I really, really love it. That's a really nice one. That was so nice. Angie, Bub, the floss tube stitcher, she gave that to me. So thank you, Angie. And hopefully by the end of the week, I'm passing it on to somebody else. So we'll see how many times that could be passed around. That'd be a fun thing. I worked on Saviours Praise, and I got that vessel at the top all finished. And I worked on a little bit here and there, so it's progress, slow but sure. I didn't work on this one as much as some other pieces. So, but this part, I did have that vessel for the flowers all outlined. So while I was on vacation, I filled that in. I don't remember. I stitched in a rental car. I stitched on an airplane. I stitched in the airports. I stitched 21 flights up in the air in a hotel. I stitched 18 flights up in a hotel. I stitched in a second floor of a hotel. So I had stitching everywhere I went. I tell you, that little light worked out so well. And it didn't lose its oomph the whole time. I mean, I took the cord so you could recharge it, but it held its charge the whole time. So that was wonderful. That was really wonderful. That little stand, I'm telling you, that was a good thing. That was a really good purchase. So, okay, fully finishes. I have some finishes. Yay! I have a girlfriend. I went through kindergarten through 12th grade with her, and she's going to be a grandma. Next month, Eleanor Grace is going to have a birthday. So, of course, I had to make a little baby bib. Eleanor needs a little bib. Of course she does. And I thought she might need a beautiful little hat. Oh, look, there you go. And the bow has got a little bit of a halo on it that's so soft. That's adorable. Ooh, she's going to look so cute. Oh, wait, I made one more thing. Look, every little new girl needs a crown for her birthday. Oh, she's going to be so cute. My friend has no idea what a great job being a grandma is. So I'm real excited for her. So of course I had to make some things to celebrate. I kind of stuck my nose in on her celebration. So that's a good thing. Okay, the other thing I finished. Some of you have already seen it. I put it on Instagram, and I got lots of nice compliments. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. It is called Daffodils and Friends by Snowflower Diaries. And there you go. It's 2 little bunnies, a little pot of flowers, a house, a bird, crown. I mainly worked on this while I was on vacation, so that's how I got it finished. Now, the one thing that wasn't my favorite was the dark line underneath the 2 bunnies. I think it was supposed to be for grass, and I think the pattern's lovely, and I love it. It just wasn't my thing to want to stitch that dark line. So I came up with a different solution for me. It might not be for other people, but it was for me. So here's my finished piece. There you go. Okay. I chose to stitch some buttons in place of that dark line. So there you can see the buttons. And I'll tell you about this finish just a second. I think I ran out of those tags by Lindy Stitches. I gotta get some more. So this is Daffodils Friends Snowflower Diaries. It is 32 count beige linen. Alright. Now I'll tell you how I did it, okay? So first of all, this ribbon I just tucked in there, so I can take that out. This piece, I put magnets on the back of it, and I just glued some washers to this. And this is a, I believe it's like a cookbook stand or a music stand, cookbook stand, I'm pretty sure. And I got it at Hobby Lobby. I used a coupon. No, I didn't. It was 50% off. It was $19.99, and then I used a coupon, so I paid $10. It has a little, I don't know if you can see it. It has a little dip in the wood right here, and I just bought a piece of wood, a little scroll piece that I painted, and then I just hot glued that on there because I needed something to kind of make it look a little heavier at the bottom. So the flat fold finish from our friend Vonna Pfeiffer, the Twisted Stitcher. I did yellow and white gingham on the first one, and then I did the actual cross stitch piece, so they're both flat fold. And then I put the little bit of Lady Dot Creates edging, put that in there, glued that in. Eileen's Tacky Glue, I believe that's the name of it. And then I put it all together, put some magnets on the back, and then I just put the magnets back on, put the piece back on, excuse me, and then put it back together. And then you spend the next few minutes fussing with the bow. Anyway, that's really beautiful. Makes me happy. I don't really know why I thought about doing the buttons, but I love them. I think it turned out great. Makes me happy. It's just a little bit lighter color than that dark stripe. And anyway, it's going to be a really pretty piece sitting by the front door with a spring display. So I wanted to share it, and I loved it so much I want to share the pattern. So the pattern is going to be my giveaway in a few minutes. I put some buttons with it too, so that'll be good. That'll be really good. I'll give that away in just a second. That was a fun piece. It was so sweet and fun. I had the dresses outlined, so I just kept filling in all during my vacation. So it has lots of good memories in it too, so that's a good thing. Okay, I have a couple of floss tube makers new to me and pretty much new that I wanted to share with you. The first one is called For Love of the Stitches, and I promise I'll link them below so you can just click on it and go right to them. Okay, so For Love of the Stitches, there's two folks, and one's named Tina and one is Ashley, and they just have some great things, and they have a great sense of humor. I was giggling through the whole thing. I thought that they were girlfriends. I thought they were best friends because they just, had that thing about them that they just worked well with each other and giggled and laughed. And no, they are mom and daughter. So wow, they're both so beautiful, and they have beautiful smiles, and they just had piece after piece to show us, and I just loved how real they were. They told the truth. They said they goofed up here or there and made me giggle, and it made me feel okay that some of my pieces aren't perfect. So I love that about them. But I enjoyed listening to them. I was just stitching along, but then I had to put my stitching down so I could see all the things they were sharing. It was wonderful. So if you get a chance, For Love of the Stitches, I think you'll enjoy Tina and Ashley. So anyway, that's a good one. And then the other one was new to me, and her name is Christy, and she is Crosshatch Quilts. Okay. Put down your coffee, put down your stitching, and just sit there and, okay, number one, she's gorgeous. She's beautiful smile, really beautiful hair, holy Toledo. And everything behind her, eye candy, beautiful. And every piece she showed, I wanted to do it. I want to make that. Oh, I want to do that. Oh, I want to do that one. Oh, she's just a really beautiful stitcher, and she just showed piece after piece after piece. They just kept coming and coming and coming. It was wonderful. It was really a pleasure, just a pleasure to watch her and listen. I was smiling the whole time. So if you get a moment, go over to Crosshatch Quilts, and Christy and her beautiful smile will keep you company. So I think you'll really enjoy that. So that was a good one. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's share that pattern. I'm going to share the pattern. Excuse me. Okay, Daffodils Friends, Snowflower Diaries. I put some buttons. I thought maybe you might want to do that. You don't have to. I just thought maybe if you wanted to. Everyone seemed to like the button idea, so I thought that I could add a few to your stash where you get your buttons, so you could do that. And the question, now this is the interesting part. The question is going to be to answer a fellow viewer, one of the subscribers. Okay, last week she won one of the Ravaris kits. She wrote a really lovely thank you note. And get this, she lives in the town next door to me. How wonderful is that? Okay, so she wrote a really nice thank you note, and then she had a question, and she said, could you ask that question on your floss tube next time? I'll be watching. So I said, oh, that's great, thank you. So if you want to be entered in the drawing, don't say drawing, you got to be 18, blah, blah, blah. For me to pass along this pattern. I didn't write it in or anything. It's just the way I got it. We got to answer the question from Cindy. So let me read what she wrote. I'm newly back into cross stitching, and I find it difficult to shop online with the computer coloring. I've ordered a kit online, and I ordered Chock-full Harvest on Slate by Fabrics by Stephanie. And it's really purpley gray, not the black gray that I was looking for. Anyway, you can answer your question on your next floss tube, and I'll be watching. God bless, Cindy. Okay, so we all have this question. We all have this problem. It's not just you, Cindy. Every time we're on the computer, even this, in real life, this lime green bow is a lot more vibrant and shocking when I'm looking at it than when I see it in the camera. So we all have had a little bit of issues with that. So one of the suggestions that I have, the answer to your question from me, is the fabric that Priscilla and Chelsea. Now, Priscilla is the gal that she did the chalk drawing, and Kathy Haberman, she's the one that created it and made it into a pattern, and their suggestion is to go to the Fat Quarter shop, and they have fabric that they use, and then the world is your oyster. So to be in the drawing for me to pass along this pattern, could you please answer below and answer our friend Cindy and give her a suggestion or 2 or 3 or 47 of where she can buy fabric that would look really lovely with chalk-filled design. So that's what you have to do. You have to answer the question where to find that kind of black chalkboard looking fabric that you love to stitch on. And it can be Ada, it can be linen, whatever. We just need to help her out. She's new back to stitching, so I thought we could help her and give her some suggestions and ideas. Our closest local needlework shop is in Portland, Oregon, about 170 miles away. So that's why she's shopping online to find those special pieces of fabric. So anyway, that's our question. We're going to help you. Cindy, you're going to be bombarded with oodles and oodles of answers. So there you go. Okay, what am I grateful for? Oh, I'm grateful for a lot of things. I'm grateful for vacation, that I got to go hug my grandbabies and have breakfast with them and talk to them and listen. One of the things Adelaide said, Papa Bruce is the best listener. He listens until my story is done. He doesn't interrupt me. That's the best thing you could say about grandparents. You got all the time in the world. You just get to sit there and listen to their story and listen to them sing and read and tell us about the murder mystery they're writing and the characters. I'm just really grateful for grandchildren. It's the best. It's the best part of my life. Okay, what else am I grateful for? I am grateful. Guess what? My chickens are laying eggs again. We are up to 2,891 eggs since I began this journey of having chickens. Ooh, look at those beautiful green ones. That's from Ginger. She's 6.5 years old. Nobody has chickens that are 6.5 years old that still lay eggs. They're just really, really beautiful. So, yay, I'm grateful that they started laying eggs again. Okay, next thing. Refresh or Affresh. Yes, this is me doing my commercial. Come back from vacation and the washing machine doesn't smell as sweet as it possibly can. So I got this on Amazon, about $11. Little packets, you just throw one in, full load, and it is what they use in laundromats to clean the washing machines. I know! So you don't have that moldy mildew smell, and it works beautiful. I'm super happy. I'm really grateful I found this. So there you go. I'll link it below. You can find it. If maybe none of your washing machines ever smell. Maybe it's just mine. I don't know. Okay, here's another product. Okay, I bought this for my trip. It's really small. It comes together like this. Okay. Then it has a hook. You hang it up. And it has oodles of pockets and little places to put your makeup brushes and shampoo and whatever you take with you, Band-Aids or whatever. It all fits in this little container, and it hangs on the back of the door in the hotel bathroom, and it is wonderful, really good quality. I was super happy. I didn't have to use 3 or 4 Ziploc bags, and which bag was this in, and which bag was it. I put it all in one. Super happy. Made me very happy. I'll link it below. Okay, I have one more thing. You're not going to believe it. It's fabulous. This is life-changing for me. Life-changing. Okay, so this is a company called Scough. There you go. Okay, so I was sick for quite some time, and flying in an airplane, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's lots of germs. And going to a theater, a movie theater, there's lots of germs. So I can't always go, but if I want to go see my grandbabies, yeah, I want to go. I want to see them. I want to do it. But I don't want to come back sick. I don't want to be sick. And I don't want to wear a less than flattering mask over my face while I'm in an airplane. This particular scarf has a secret hidden pocket in it. And inside the secret pocket is a charcoal filter. It's just really skinny, has a little bit of wire in it so that you can form it around your nose. So you put it in the little pocket, and then you sit in the airplane in your little corner of the world, and you stitch away, and you are breathing through a charcoal filter that gets rid of some of those germs that make us cough and sneeze and get a stuffy nose by the time we get to the place or by the time we come home. And it comes in all different colors, and it has a piece of elastic. You can put it behind your head if you want to do that, or under your hair. Nobody can see it. And I had a couple of the wait a minute, they're not called stewardesses. What are they called? Airline flight attendants. There you go. Ask me about it. It's just a beautiful piece of fabric. It comes in different colors. The charcoal filters last, I think, 90 days, and then they have replacements. You just replace it. You can wash this fabric. It's really nice. But as you're just walking through the airport, nobody actually knows that you have this beautiful scarf that does these wonderful things and keeps us healthy. Yeah. And going to the movie theater is not my favorite thing because there's lots of germs. It is Mr. Wright's favorite thing. So now we get to go to the theater every couple of months, and I can sit and breathe through my filter, and I don't have to have all those germs. So in today's world, we have a little bit of germs that might be floating around out there, and I just thought maybe you'd like to hear about my my beautiful scarf And it comes in black. Men can use it too. Nobody's gonna notice any different. It comes in different colors. Anyway, I just thought I would share. So thanks a lot for stopping by. I'm really grateful that you came back. I'm happy to see you all. I'm happy to talk. I'm happy to share. Well, I talked 7 minutes before and nobody was listening. So anyway, happy Valentine's Day and happy stitching to all of you. We'll chat soon. Bye-bye.